These are the sounds of hungry children. In this case, their hunger is being satisfied in the dining hall at Junior Village. But these too are the sounds of children at Junior Village, hungry children, hungry for love and affection. This hunger cannot be satisfied at Junior Village.
Good evening, I'm Matthew Warren. During the recent holiday season, the various public information media gave much attention to the District of Columbia's Junior Village. This coverage encouraged large donations of time and money for the children of the institution. However, now that the holidays have passed and the publicity has subsided, Junior Village has returned to its routine way of life and has faded from the minds of many persons. Recently, a WMAL film crew spent an entire week on location recording the sights and sounds of Junior Village. Now, in just a moment, we'll visit the world of Junior Village.
Prior to 1948, dependent children in the District of Columbia who required temporary housing were placed in institutions with children who had been convicted of law violations. To remedy this obviously unsatisfactory situation, the Industrial Home School Annex was organized in July of 1948 on a reservation in Northwest Washington. Within a few months, this public facility for dependent children had a population of some 90. By 1956, Junior Village, as it was known by then, was overflowing. In September of that year, the institution was moved to an area in Southwest Washington known as Blue Plains. Junior Village is now composed of 12 residence cottages, a school building, a shop, a chapel, a dining facility, and an administration building. The authorized capacity is 527, but it now houses more than 700 children ranging from 6 months to 18 years of age. The administrator of Junior Village is Mr. Joseph Kosifky.
Children are journeyed about to Junior Village for temporary shelter. They come to us from the Metropolitan Police Department of the Women's Bureau, the Child Welfare Division, and the Public Assistance Division from the Department of Public Welfare. Generally, the children reflect in their behavior the effects of the multi-problem situations from which they come to the village. So that the range will include from the normal child in terms of social maturity and who is average or above average in academic achievement to children who, in some cases, are abnormal, illiterate, or even seriously disturbed emotionally.
Junior Village operates on an open program system. That is, there is only minimal security with no locked doors or gates. When a child is placed at the institution, he is first interviewed by one of the social workers. Forms are filled out, and he is assigned to a cottage, such as one of these. Afterwards, the child is taken to the institution's clinic for a physical examination. If he is in need of treatment, and such treatment can be handled at Junior Village, the child is scheduled for visits to this clinic. Except for visiting interns, the institution's only physician is Dr. Reginald James.
The most striking thing we see in children arriving at Junior Village for the first time is the general loss of weight, or evidence of not having the weight we would expect in a normal individual. Now, in addition to that, we find individuals coming in with a frequency of scars, and these perhaps are due to the association with the environment in which they live. Sometimes individuals come in who are emotionally disturbed, but that's infrequent. Sometimes we get individuals who are even mentally retarded. Fortunately, that is infrequent. Seldom do we get an acutely disturbed individual, but sometimes we get those who are not considered acutely disturbed, but emotionally disturbed, but who become acutely disturbed at Junior Village.
The authorized capacity of Junior Village is exceeded by more than 200 children. We asked Dr. James the effect of such overcrowding.
Believe it or not, individuals can live in a crowded situation if given certain general hygiene principles to follow and if enforced. We do have the difficulty of controlling ringworm. We do have the difficulty of controlling various skin diseases caused by dirt and filth. But in the older child, he will keep himself clean. But in the younger group, in the infants from 6 months to 3 years of age, in which contagious diseases are permitted to spread very rapidly, obviously it would be impossible to perfect any technique of isolation with such crowding. And although we have an area known as our infirmary where we place ill children, that is limited to 20 beds, and that is 20 beds for infants and the older children. That is for the entire Junior Village area, which has a population of about 700 now, which means that we have no place to place the ill children when we have an epidemic. Of course, we can use the facilities of D.C. General if we get a proportion of crowding in which is just impossible to exist, but ordinarily we're expected to take care of our own overcrowding, and when we get these contagious diseases, it does offer a tremendous problem. Recently, we just recovered, or we almost finished, an epidemic of mumps. To the present time, we've had more than 135 cases of mumps. Fortunately, we seldom run into complications. We've been very lucky at Junior Village in that we've never had a death from any contagious disease.
The odds are terrific, there's no doubting it. The odds here are terrific. There's a reason for anybody who gets in this type of work. And there's a lot to be accomplished. There's no end to the kind of things I'd like to see happen, but it's going to take time. And I feel that this institution is not serving the prime function. It's supposed to be an institute for the temporary care of children. We are now taking children who are here by placement through the courts. There are no foster homes. I think they should be exposed to trades. I think they should be exposed to some of the kind of interest they should have by now. There's need for this kind of recognition. They want to know that someone's interested, because at home no one gives a damn. But I can never accept the philosophy that this is better than home, you know. This is in lieu of home. And if this is the best we can provide, it's unfortunate, because I think that when you put a price tag on a child and you say you can only feed him so much, what is the value, what is the worth of a child? It is a very touching kind of scene to see children brought in and with the kind of affection that one child will greet another. Having experienced this sort of thing, I guess things being relative, a child knows how he felt at a time like this, that he's able to share this kind of experience with another new child coming in. And it just this means by which he'll tug at his coat or want to express some friendliness, and up to what point he's able to do this is to inquire, what's your name and what should I call you? Immediately there's a buddy-buddy kind of system that takes place. Here's a 1-to-1 kind of ratio. We're going to be extra good friends because I'm the first you greet you here. I know you. And surprisingly, you'll notice that this youngster will stay pretty close to this kiddo, whether it be going to school, getting in line for the meals, sitting next to him in the movies. There is this kind of friendship that does seem to become very closely knit when this happens.
The dining facility at Junior Village is, in a way, the heart of the institution. Because there is no gymnasium or auditorium as such, mealtime is one chance a child has to see many of his friends, or perhaps an older brother or sister who may also be at the village. Originally, the dining hall was designed to accommodate 170. But because there are now more than 4 times this number, it may take as much as 3 hours to feed the entire institution. Because of the long serving time, fancy desserts and foods which spoil rapidly are avoided. The problem of preparing a meal is further complicated by the need to especially prepare food for the children 6 months to 3 years of age. Their food has to be taken by truck to their cottages. In all, 17 cooks are provided to do the job. By comparison, D.C. Village for the Aged, which has a similar number of mouths to feed, has some 48 cooks to do the job. Despite these and other handicaps, children at Junior Village do receive a high-calorie, balanced meal 3 times a day. Perhaps the wholesome sounds here in the dining hall testify to this fact.
A very important part of Junior Village is our religious program. At present, we have the Protestant services and the Holy Name Brothers who provide us with the religious Mass and catechetical instruction for the Catholic children. In view of what experiences are gained, and I was thinking of my having gone over the schools here the other day, the children had to write a sentence or so about what church means to them. The fact that they say they go to church so they wouldn't learn to cuss. They go to church so that they would learn not to steal. And it's this sort of concern they have consciousness about stealing and cursing or drinking. And yet they bring this about in a very affirmative way, that they do this so they wouldn't, whatever it is that they are concerned about. The kind of things that maybe they're concerned about that make possible their being here.
The world of Junior Village continues after this word. The world of Junior Village continues with the institution's administrator, Joseph Kosifky.
It's with a lot of concern that we are involved in the process of education for all the children at Junior Village. Naturally, our school is overcrowded and ungraded, and youngsters up to and including those in the 4th grade are provided the necessary education here at Junior Village. The campus cares for 300 and some children in 6 classrooms, plus our play schools, which are conducted in the individual cottages. And in order to meet the needs of youngsters from 5th grade through junior and senior high school, we have arranged for 220 of our children to attend schools in the community. Monies are being requested, or at least a school building is being requested for next year's budget. There's need for, at that time, if I recall, 21 classrooms. Despite the number of children at Junior Village, each presents his own peculiar type of problem. And therefore, it's a matter of trying to provide the type of program that will best meet the individual youngster's needs.
All right, move back so they won't be crowded. Yeah.
Insofar as our recreational facilities, we do have a person who we refer to as our recreational director. As you can imagine, it's rather difficult to plan something definite for so wide an age range, youngsters from 6 months to 18 years of age. There's a need to have some extracurricular kind of activities here between the cottages, between certain groups of our boys, whether it be on the basketball court, and most of our playground activities are, well, on the playground as such. We have no auditorium to speak of or an assembly. Others who come in to provide the kind of extracurricular activities I'm thinking of, particularly Boy Scout activities. We're having a scout master who comes in and it's very much a part of the kind of things that Boy Scouts would want to be a part of. The need for going away on weekends, and this is done where children have the opportunity to go away on weekends and enjoy the thrill of camping on the outdoors. So there's enough in the kind of things that take place that will provide for the normalcy and the kind of life that a child should be a part of and to enjoy. And maybe more of it should be done. This probably is our problem. Not enough of this is being provided.
Welcome to the romper room. Come in and dance and play. We're all about to sing a song.
In Taft Cottage, we have four of the classes, or rather 4 classrooms, being used in there so that children can be very much a part of some organized activity. We have volunteers who come over and each morning provide structured play activity in the way of oil paintings and drawings and rhythmic kind of activity. And this is very important. Children know that there's something planned, that they're very much a part of something immediately after breakfast. And there is need for this kind of play school activity, but of necessity we have to use the cottages. So we're doing the best that we can insofar as a lot of space is concerned. The need that, regardless of what the age of a child is, need for recognition. Each child, we all as adults, as grown children, need this kind of recognition. The fact that a child wants to be acknowledged with a little tap on the back on something he does. The need for some men to be able to sit down with some of the toys that youngsters have received here at Christmas time. Who is there that has the time to sit down and show this child how this mechanical toy does operate? And how frustrating must be the child when he can't attract the attention of a person, a staff member. It's difficult to get people to do the kind of other expectations that a father figure would be expected to in a home where you might feel at ease in getting on the floor and playing with a train or a fire engine and being a child all over again. This is almost an impossible thing to expect of members on our staff. It's impossible to get people on staff at the salaries that we can afford to pay for any breadwinner, and particularly, as I say, a male counselor as such. In our colleges, our younger colleges, it's mostly female counselors and nursing assistants that we have. And this is one of the reasons, which I think Junior Village, and it's been quoted so often, that all children make reference to mommy. Everyone's mommy to them, male or female. And this is the only reference they make to an adult figure.
We can run and skip and hide. We can jump and swing and slide. Will you come, oh will you come? Will you come and play?
Volunteers have been a most wonderful kind of contribution to life at Junior Village. Volunteers who in the evening come and assist us in bathing these children. Can you imagine having this number of youngsters? We're having to bathe them and get them dressed up and dried up and powdered up and give them the kind of attention that they like at this time of day. This pretty much is the climax of the youngsters' day, the most happy kind of a time of life where our volunteers are able to provide this. This, as being a regular chore, could be very monotonous. So you almost have to encourage volunteers to come in who will do this possibly once a week. We have other groups who come in on Tuesdays or others on Thursdays. So when people come in once a week, the youngsters more or less look forward to them as visiting aunts or relatives, and kind of look forward to the newness of people who come in with a fresh approach, and the fact that they have the needed vitality to power these kiddos up and dress them up and probably bounce them around a little bit, tickle them, and maybe read a story to them before they go to bed. It's this kind of extra need that even people on staff wouldn't be able to provide. No staff member could possibly accomplish all that would be expected in view of the absorption of more and more children and not having kept abreast of this increase with the needed staff as we go from one fiscal year to the next. Last month, we had 3,400 volunteer hours, and we most certainly welcome anybody who has the need or the feeling that they can come out and can contribute to the needs of youngsters in an institution. I must say that I find Junior Village a very challenging place. The facilities may not be new. They may not be the most modern or fireproof buildings. It's true that the buildings weren't planned to house the number of children we had to, of necessity, place in each of these colleges. It's true we had to double bunk throughout the institution. We had to move the bunks closer together. We've had to put children two in a bed, lower and top. This of necessity. But the fact remains that there aren't enough of the toilet facilities, depending on the number occupying the colleges today, that there aren't the number of water fountains and so much in the way of plumbing and other requirements that are all important and true. But yet the children have learned to accept what they have and adjust to what there is. I know that children would like to have a place where they can hide their secret things, and children just need a place where they can put things that nobody's but their own, a hiding place, and all. I think this is good, and this is a wholesome kind of thing that we should see to it that we can provide this. Not the best we're able to do at the moment is to provide children with a cigar box. The fact that a child may have a need for I might say privacy, not only in the need for, say, toiletry privacy as compared to meeting emotional needs. A child who's so upset about maybe showing concern about her mommy who might be in hospital. These are the kind of things that can prove embarrassing for a youngster. The fact that they might have to restrain themselves until such a time that in the quiet of night the child might find it most comfortable to have a good cry. I think that there are needs to meet these particular youngsters' quest for this kind of privacy, and I think maybe something will eventually happen. I think the need for foster homes are all important. The fact that there are no foster homes available for particularly our colored boys and girls. The majority of our children are colored, well, over 90% of them, and this is quite obvious. I often wonder when a child may be missing from the grounds for a while. Sure, I think they have every right to walk off the grounds and find some quiet and just to sit down and think aloud, so to say. The fact that we have 700 children here, and each of them with problems of their own. Can you conceive of a child at this age shoulder with the kind of responsibilities that no child should be made aware of, where having to wonder what will happen to me? What is there to look forward to?
What is Junior Village? Well, it's a small boy and his dog. It's a group of girls playing jacks. A 2-year-old calling his nurse Mommy. A teenaged boy combing his hair for the 7th time before breakfast. And a teenaged girl in a sweater that's too tight. It is old buildings and new. Bandages and pills, school and play, good food and hard knocks. It is sadness and laughter, happiness and tears, hope and dejection. It is bitterness and contentment that can be found at one and the same time in an institution for dependent children. In this world of Junior Village, children are asked to compress into a small slice of time and geographic space experiences and relationships with others which normally would require more time, more space, and more help. Such is the world of Junior Village.
Next week, we go on location for the story of Planned Parenthood in the nation's capital, as viewed by representatives of the Planned Parenthood Association and the medical profession. This is Matthew Warren saying good night.